Yeah, flared up again at Wits University last night with students defying management and breaking the curfew. Well, this morning, Chriselda Lewis is there and we've got her on the line now, so let's cross to her. Chriselda, just talk to us about what happened last night. We believe that there were, of course, rubber bullets being fired, stun grenades. There's this curfew that's been implemented, which was broken. Good morning to you.
Well, these are live pictures outside the Nokando halls of residence belonging, of course, to Wits University, where students had been barricading the road here for several hours now. You can see some of the fires that were set just on this road here, causing extreme traffic. Police are trying to contain the situation at this point, where they've managed to push students back into the Nokando halls of residence, where students are flinging stones from at this point. You can see this road, police are now closing off, not allowing any cars to come into this road that leads to the Nokando halls of residence. You must recall there, Leanne, that this morning students had been defiant, saying that they were going to march in support of the student leadership that had been arrested in the early hours of Sunday morning. Student leader Mcebo Dlamini is to appear in the Hillbrow Magistrates Court this morning in what police say was part of an investigation into the intimidation and violence that we've seen at Wits University and outside the parameters of that university over the past couple of weeks. So students are saying they're going to gather today and march to the court where he's scheduled to appear on those charges this morning. But outside the education campus, we understand, is where these students had began protesting from this morning. And as you rightly pointed out there, Leanne, they've been defying the curfew that had been put in place by the university, saying that the university itself from 10 o'clock in the evening would be closed off to any visitors. That was the curfew that was set in place, and students basically were not allowed to linger around the university campus or the premises after 10 o'clock in the evening. But the scenes that we saw over the weekend, including on Friday night, where two vehicles, including an SABC outside broadcast van, were set alight, was a clear indication that students were not going to adhere to the curfew that was put in place. So the violence that we're seeing here this morning at the Nokando halls of residence in the Parktown area is what students are saying is part of their defiance, in that they want to support their leaders. They want their leaders to be released from where they've been incarcerated. But it's not just that issue, Leanne. What students are essentially saying at this point is that they believe that police are now targeting the leaders of the student movement, trying to weaken their cause. You'd know it's just not Mcebo Dlamini, who's the Wits student leader, who's been arrested at the University of Pretoria and the University of Cape Town as well. You've got student leaders who've been arrested there. So students are now saying that it seems to be a ploy by police to try and weaken their movement by targeting the student leadership. So at this stage here at the Parktown campuses, the education campus, as well as the Nokando halls of residence, the situation is still a bit very volatile as students continue throwing stones from inside the residences and targeting police at this stage. Police also trying to man traffic, as you can see there in front, just in front of me, and this road totally closed off, leading to these residences here at Wits University. Here towards my right, you see many trying to go for cover, and people just running all over the place and trying to ensure that they're not caught in the scuffles or the running battles between the police and the students at this stage. But police are trying to contain the situation. I think a bit later on this morning, what they'll certainly be focusing their attention on as well is the many students who are expected to gather at Trinity House at 8:30. That's on the premises of the main campus, and that's where they will move from to the Hillbrow Magistrates Court, where Mcebo Dlamini, the student leader who was arrested in the early hours of Sunday morning, is expected to appear in court.
Well, Chriselda Lewis giving us an update from Wits University after more violence broke out overnight. We'll keep you updated if anything does unfold there at Wits, which is just up the road from the SABC.